Hi everyone, this is Mark Hastings and welcome to Mark the Poet, the podcast. Hi everyone, this is Mark and this is episode 3 of Mark the Poet, the podcast. And my name is Mark Hastings. If you don't already know me, I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm an author. I've written 10 books up to now, which are about poetry, short stories, and also some longer stories that are like short novels. And today I want to talk to you about what was the genesis of my poetry journey, what the first poem that I wrote was, and I also want to read some of the poems that I've written over the years, but the most important poem, you could say, was the first poem, and that's the one that I want to talk to you about today. So I want to start off by reading the introduction that I wrote for my poetry collection that was called The Dreamer and the Dream, which came out in 2015, and it's a book that's filled with over 100 poems, if I remember rightly. And the introduction to my book, The Dreamer and the Dream, is called My First Poem. That's what I want to read to you today, because it explains where my poetry journey began, and it also includes the actual poem that started it all for me, the first poem that I wrote. So sit back, listen, and I hope you enjoy me reading the introduction to my book, The Dreamer and the Dream. The first poem that I ever wrote, and the first poetic thing that I ever thought to write in my life, was, unsurprisingly, a love poem. And the poem that began it all was my poem, Blessed. Blessed was not called Blessed in the beginning, however. My first poem, the poem that I would eventually give the title of the name Blessed, was something that I wrote so that I could say and express in words, and in the most beautiful way that I could think of, what I was thinking and what I was feeling for someone. And it was also a way for me to give a gift of love and poetry to someone who inspired me from the instant that I saw them. What followed next was like nothing I'd ever experienced before or since. After I wrote my first poem, and then my second poem, and then my third poem, my fourth, I was riding a wave of imagination and emotion, and taking a journey out into the world, into the universe, but also taking a journey within myself, where I discovered places and gifts that I never knew I had. The first poems that I wrote never had titles at first. It wasn't until I went back and read what I had written that I actually put a name to the face of my poetry. And now, oddly, most of the time when I write a poem, the title is where I start from. I see a title, a name, an idea, as a seed that you can plant, look at, feed and water, as if it were a plant, a flower, or a tree, or like a child that you see come into the world. Watch do things you never imagined, and then give them all your care and attention, and watch them grow into something profoundly wonderful. I like to think of my poems as doors into my life, through which I can share my hopes, my fears, my thoughts, my emotions, my experiences, my dreams. And while reading them, you get to see the world through my eyes, hear the sounds of what I heard, and also feel what I felt, and let my memories and experiences become a part of you, the reader, so that you may look around and fully appreciate what you have in your life. My poetry means so much to me. The relationships and bonds that I have made and forged over the years that have lasted mean the world to me. I try not to take anything for granted, not one thing, if I can help it, because I've learned that time is like water in your hands, and every second it escapes your grasp and falls through your fingers faster and easier than you could ever realise at any time in your life. It's a hard reality to realise that some things have passed you by, that things have changed beyond all recognition, and that, no matter what happens, the world will just keep spinning and orbiting the sun. I've learned so much in my life, about people, about behaviour, about the power of ideas, emotions, dreams and love, and where they can take you. I must have written over 500 poems since I first began writing poetry. Most of them have been read by at least one other person, but some of them I wrote just for me. However, to me, poetry can be personal and private, but also, most importantly, poetry should be expressed and written, and the right poem at the right time deserves to be shared and read. I am a writer. I'm a poet. I will continue to write and share my gift of self-expression for as long as I live. At my heart, I am a hopeful, eternal boy. In my soul lies a poet of the sphere. And when you hear in my poems, what you hear in my poems is not only the sounds of the marks that have been left on me, because in every word and every verse that you read, you're also reading my thoughts and the feeling of the beat of my own heart. I'm so lucky to have this opportunity to talk to you now. I'm so fortunate to have the gifts of relationships and people in my life who inspire me every day. Everything happens for a reason. Keep hoping, keep dreaming, keep wishing, keep creating, keep writing, keep going, and one day, if you are as lucky as me, you may find your purpose in life, as I did when I fell in love with poetry. I am the dreamer, and I am the dream. I live every day in hope. And as Andy Dufresne says in my favourite film, The Shawshank Redemption, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. So please, stay hopeful, and please read my first poem. Or should I say, please listen to my first poem, which is called Blessed. You have been blessed with a smile that would bring happiness to all who gaze upon you, who has only to speak with heavenly tongue and make someone anew. All that hear your voice would grant you any wish that you would make. Your eternal spirit will walk the lands of the earth and endure in history's wake. You will live on in the hearts and minds of those who have gazed upon you, and one day you will be given the awards that you are due. You see yourself as imperfect, even though you are a queen. You are truly unlike anyone that I have ever seen. You have many friends who consider you the best. You are perfection incarnate. That fact I must put to rest. You are a timeless beauty, created under angel guise, who has been blessed with grace and joy, and who would outshine the light of heavenly skies. And I wrote that introduction on March the 24th, 2015. And my book, The Dreamer and the Dream, this collection of poetry, means a lot to me. It includes a lot of poems that I think about a lot, and I still can't believe that I actually wrote, because it seems like a lifetime ago. But I do like this book. I like all of my books for many different reasons. But I like the message of this book and the poems within it. And I think that on the back cover of the book, I think that is a great example of the message of the book. And it says on the back, everyone is a dreamer, everyone has a dream, everyone is a creator, everybody can be whomever they want to be. Stay hopeful, be optimistic, be incredible, believe in miracles, and witness life's magic. And I don't think that there is a better time to believe in miracles and to hold on to hope and to feel blessed to still be alive and able to enjoy the gifts of life, even though we're all surrounded by uncertainty, and we're reminded every day of just how vulnerable we are, and just how short life is, and why it's important to grasp every opportunity and to embrace every moment, because every moment is a world in its own right, and we need to be thankful, we need to feel grateful, and we need to just keep going no matter what, and stay hopeful. And I just want to leave you with that message, and I hope you enjoy listening to the introduction to my book, The Dream and the Dream. And I also want to read very quickly a poem from my book, The Dreamer and the Dream. Just finding the right one, that's the thing. Okay, so here's one that I haven't read for a long time, and it's called Garden of Inspiration. As everyone gets older, life gets harder. As we watch the changing of the seasons, we are all reminded how short and precious life is, for so many reasons. If you can find happiness and contentment in your life, then you have found the treasure that has always been meant for you. And as long as you don't take what you have granted, your perfect composure will last forever. When you have a moment to take in where you are and embrace what you are doing and why you are where you are, when you feel like you have all you could ever think of as amazing, live in that moment for as long as you can, because it will be gone before you know it. Keep every detail close to your heart, like an old faded photo. Wear it like a charm around your neck, on your wrist, on your finger, or in your pocket. Make every step one that is always worth retracing. Don't ever let anything go. The youth of today are used to seeing something, saying something, experiencing something, and then forgetting about it. Young people live in the moment, but they mostly do not give what they are doing any long-term thinking, and the effect of their actions can sometimes be a curse, but they can also, and mostly, are a blessing. The days fly away faster when you are younger, because you are always doing something. I would encourage everybody, young and old, to keep a diary, a journal, an album that they can hold and add to over time, because the moments of our lives happen in a flash, and remembering them in some way is a way of never taking them for granted. Everyone has their own escapes. Everyone does something every day that deserves to be recognised and talked about. Everyone, no matter how old they are, should envy anybody who can still see the world and be captivated by fascination. Everyone can find their idea of perfection before it is too late. Everyone does not have to settle for the cards in life that they have been dealt. Everyone can plant and watch something that helped bring to life, grow and become something beyond imagining, while in the world and within the garden of inspiration. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon. Hi there, I'm Mark Hastings. If you don't already know me, I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm an author. I'm the author of 10 books, and this is my podcast, Mark the Poet, which is an extension of my website, markthepoet.me, where I regularly post brand new poems that I've written. And as I said, I'm the author of 10 books. First one was Poet of the Sphere. The second was The Sound of Mark. The third was The Eternal Boy. The fourth was The Dreamer and the Dream. The fifth was Truly Madly Deeply. The sixth was Too Close to the Sun. The seventh was The Wolf in Me. The eighth was Playing God. The ninth was The Wolf in You. And the 10th and most recent one came out this year and is called The Rambler. And this book is a book of poetry. I majoritively write poetry, but some of the books that I've shown you that I've written are stories, some short stories, some in long form. Yeah, so this is my podcast. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you comment if you like what you see, what you hear, and comment, share more of my poetry and more of my recollections of how I wrote what I have written and what I am hopefully going to write in the future. Thanks for listening.